Hello and welcome to the video for animation on Tuesday, September 15th. I'm going to let people into the waiting room, or in from the waiting room. I always say that wrong. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, how's it going?
Fine, you?
Good. I am going to, good morning everybody, I'm going to go ahead and mark you present in the attendance while you guys are jumping into class here. Okay. Teach. Okay, attendance. And animation. Here it is. And okay, I think I got that. Okay, cool. All right, back to Zoom. Let in a few more people. And there we go. Okay, and then here's a chat. Let's see. Good morning. Good morning, Luna. How are you? Okay, so one of the things that we started doing in the last couple weeks was the cognitive drawing exercises. And those are really a great way to learn how to draw and consequently how to animate. And so we're going to be doing those. We'll probably be doing a small cognitive drawing exercise every day and then moving on to talking about and doing examples of animation. So let me go over to the class website right now. I'm going to get over there and then I'll share my screen. Okay, pma.dreamco.com and animation. Okay. Actually, I just noticed we have Garrett down here for a presentation today. Garrett, did you put a presentation together?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Why don't we start off by having you give that? Would you like to share your screen and do the presentation for us?
Sure.
Okay. Go ahead.
I believe in you.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Right, is it showing the right screen?
Okay. Yeah, it's working. I'm
Okay.
being shared.
So, the evolution of animation. We already know about the zoetrope, thaumatrope, and praxinoscope, but people have been trying to do animation from way longer before that. Like this Egyptian mural from over 4,000 years ago of someone trying to portray two people wrestling.
Very cool.
And then a long time after that, hand-drawn animation was kind of the next step that was moved into. And it is what it sounds like. Artists had to draw each individual frame of a movie and then take pictures of them all and put it together to put it in motion. And that's how movies like Spirited Away, The Iron Giant, and Fantasia were all made. Then came digital animation, which is all on computers. And Toy Story was actually the first feature-length 3D movie made this way. But the first computer animated film was one called Hummingbird that was made in 1967. And now animation has evolved a lot and people are finding new ways to use it, like combining 2D and 3D, movies like Into the Spider-Verse, and now there's new forms like stop motion. And it's come a very long way from its conception. I think it'll be interesting to see where it goes next. And then I have my sources.
All right. Woo! Nice job. That's cool.
Nice.
Now, did some of you guys see Into the Spider-Verse?
It would be a crime not to.
Yes, it has.
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
Isn't it incredible?
It's a really good movie.
Was pretty
I was
good.
afraid they were gonna mess it up. I'm glad they didn't.
Man, that won the Academy Award that year. It beat out Pixar. Unreal.
I
Yep.
was scared for Spider-Verse 2, especially after I saw Venom. And I like Venom, but I acknowledge it's not a good movie.
Yeah, it's not a good movie, but yeah. And I like the guy who plays Venom. He's a great actor. I love him.
Tom Hardy, yeah.
Yeah. Oh God, Tom Hardy's in so many good things. Uh, if Tom Hardy's in a film, it's almost guaranteed to be good. He's so good. Um, he had this one film. I don't know if any of you guys ever saw it. It's kind of a weird out there film, but the entire film is him driving a car, talking on a cell phone to somebody. It's like, but it's really good. It's insane. Um, anyway, one of the things I liked about Into the Spider-Verse, in addition to how amazing the animation was in the 2D and 3D, is that they used a lot of comic book imagery. Like they use, how comic books have sound effects. It says "bam" or whatever. They would do that in the animation, and they would have very comic booky layouts and stuff. There's a really good documentary I saw about the making of Into the Spider-Verse. I'll try and track that down and share it with you guys. But Garrett, thank you for your presentation. It's really interesting to see how far animation has come all the way from the Egyptians all the way to the current day. Do any of you guys have examples of what you think is like a very modern form of animation? Is there anything on Netflix or on the internet that you guys think is really kind of where animation, the state of the art, or where it's headed, kind of thing?
I guess for me, it'd be Breadwinner on Netflix.
What's it called?
Breadwinner?
I'm not quite getting the name. Can you spell it for me?
B. B-E. No, it's just BREADWINNER. Breadwinner.
Breadwinner. Oh, okay. So the one that Angelina Jolie helped produce?
I guess. I don't know
Yeah.
if she actually. I don't know.
It's a movie on Netflix called The Breadwinner, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Angelina Jolie was one of the producers on that. I haven't seen it. I've seen the trailer for it and stuff, but what is it about it that makes you feel like it's kind of state of the art?
I'd say the visuals, they're pretty nice.
Okay.
I'd say it's a big step up from things we've seen like 10 years ago.
Let me see if I can find a trailer for it. The Breadwinner. Let's see, trailer, and maybe I can show that to the class. Oh yeah, here's one. So let me do this. Let me see if I can share my screen real quick. Let's check out the Breadwinner trailer.
Yeah, that's real pretty.
When I was young, Farwana, I knew what peace felt like. Stories remain in our hearts even when all else is gone.
My family is in a desperate situation.
Girl, stop when I tell you!
I'm going to find Boba.
No, you're not.
I'm going. There's nothing you can do to stop me.
Maybe if we think of it like a story, huh?
Is it a happy story or a sad story? Just wait and see.
Okay. Yeah, that's very cool. Let me cancel this. It looks really good. And what is it about it that made you feel like it was kind of state of the art?
I think the visuals alone is sort of what got me into it.
It's just so clean and colorful and sharp, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
it seems like the artwork is very simple but powerful. Like there's very little shading, and I like that kind of artwork because I think it makes me feel like that's something I could do. It wouldn't take a ton of time. Um, yeah, I'll have to check that out. Thanks for pointing that out. Does anybody else have any examples of, either animated shows on Netflix or Amazon or the internet that they think are really very current?
The new SpongeBob movie trailer. Everything's gone CG, and this new one is too, but it has like a different CG style than what I've seen.
Okay, let me bring that up. So, SpongeBob trailer.
Yeah.
So it is the SpongeBob movie 2.
I think it's the third one that they're making.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They only got a trailer for it.
SpongeBob trailer. SpongeBob movie 3. SpongeBob movie 3. Okay, here we go. Let me share my screen again. We'll look at that. Share screen. Share SpongeBob.
The ocean, a body of unparalleled beauty. And on World Oceans Day, we recognize this vast ecosystem, home to crustaceans, sea stars, plankton, cephalopods, the elusive sea squirrel, and, of course, the sea sponge.
I love my life.
But it's up to us to come together and preserve this peaceful and delicate world. So, for World Oceans Day, do your part to keep our oceans clean and protect the home of SpongeBob and Gary and all sea creatures. Don't miss the SpongeBob movie, Sponge on the Run.
Yeah, that does look very very current. What do you guys think? Do you guys want to, if those of you who want to work in animation, do you think you would like to work in 3D or 2D?
I like to do both.
Like to do both? Okay.
I think I'd rather do 2D.
Yeah, 2D? Do you think there's still a market for it?
Yes.
Yeah, for like TV and such, not so much in like the silver screen sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, you'd have to have something that was, incredibly popular to put out a 2D movie that you want to make any money from nowadays. Although, like you said, on the small screen, like on Netflix, obviously 2D is alive and well, especially when you combine it with elements of 3D, like 3D sets and things like that. Yeah. Anybody else have any opinion about what they want to do? Let's see. Blake says, I imagine the desire for 2D animation would never fade. I sure hope so. Do you guys know about there was sort of a 2D apocalypse that happened many years ago. Of course, Disney made 2D animation famous, and their studio was around for like 100 years or whatever. And I don't know the exact date. I want to say that it was the earlier part of this century, maybe around the 2000s or whatever. But what happened was when things like Toy Story got so popular that all of the movies, like Ice Age and all the Shrek movies and everything, when all that stuff went to 3D, that was kind of that was the market. And it's hard for 2D to compete against 3D because they're so different. So what happened was The Princess and the Frog, I believe, was the very last 2D movie that the Disney Animation Studios put out before they did these massive layoffs and closed down parts of their studio, massive layoffs. And other studios did a similar thing. Other 2D studios closed. In fact, and this is really sad, there used to be a 2D animation studio in Phoenix, and they closed down as part of this sort of 2D apocalypse, right? But nowadays, with streaming and the resurgence, like especially Netflix, and the money that they've been able to put into projects, nowadays you can really do anything. You can do 2D, 3D, some combination of the two. And so Netflix alone, although other companies like Amazon and Apple and stuff, but Netflix alone, I think, is really responsible for supporting a lot of that, and like Legend of Korra and stuff like that, so that there is a viable 2D market nowadays, which is great because I love 2D. It's like I think 3D is great too. I love watching it, but I don't really want to do 3D. I want to do 2D. I think it's amazing.
Well, I also think like maybe like in Japan they also help keep it alive with their with anime.
Yeah, and that's an excellent point. Anime is just ginormous throughout the world, and yeah, you're right. With both anime and manga, have really been stable for what, like 50 or 60 years, and that meant that the comic book industry stayed afloat. That meant that the animation industry stayed afloat, and that's great. Do you guys know about webtoons? Any of you read webtoons? Okay, so let me show this to you real quick. This is not an animation site. It's more of like a comic site.
Oh, you're talking about the app. Yeah, I've been there before.
Yeah, or webtoon, I guess is what it's called. But yeah, so you know about this, Zach?
That was Neil, but yeah.
Oh, that was Neil. I'm sorry. I saw Zach's lit up. He may have just like moved his chair and a little noise went up. But so Neil, you know about this site then?
Yeah, it's got some pretty decent, like it's like usually like, yeah, fan-made manga and whatnot.
Yeah, so
Or
this
just comics.
Yeah, this is a site that's just all comics from people all over the world. It's free, and you can look at genres here, and there's so many comics on this site that every single day of the week they have like a bunch of different ones. Like you can see right here, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and these are all the different series that they have, right? That are updating during these days of the week. And a lot of them have sort of a manga feel to them. But the cool thing about this is, okay, let's say you were somebody who wanted to do animation, maybe, and even potentially comics, and you wanted to build an audience for your work, for your characters, for your stories. Something like this might be a way to get started. For example, you could put up a free comic every week on a site like this, build an audience, and then at a certain point say, hey guys, I want to sell a comic of my collected strips or whatever, and then you guys want to kick in some money for that, and you could sell your comic and then make a little money, and then you could just keep that model going to where eventually, if you got enough fans, you could do like a Kickstarter or something and say, hey, we want to raise, I know it's a huge amount of money, but we want to raise $100,000 and hire a couple animators to work with me and make a 40-minute animated movie of this story, right? And it's been done. People do that stuff all the time. So this is another option for you. One route to go into animation is to start with comics and take those characters in animation. Does anybody do comics like that in the class? No? Okay. All right. Well, this might just be a site that you enjoy. Okay. So let's go to the class website and let's get to work on a cognitive drawing exercise. Now, what's going to happen is every day I'm going to put 2 links up here. I'm going to put a link to the actual files that you'll need to download to draw on, and then a link to a video that we're going to watch where the artist himself is doing the exercise. Now, these links are PDFs, and you can open those in a program like Photoshop, which is the best way to open it so that you can actually work on it. So let me show you an example. So what you'll need to do today is to go to the class website and click on, it says download these cognitive drawing files. So you'll click on those and it will download a PDF. And so here it is, it's called Day 2 PDF, right? Now what you can do with that PDF is you can open it in Photoshop. So, you know, on my Macintosh, I can just drag it down to the Photoshop icon, but you can, on a PC, you can just do File, Open, and point it to that, right? We'll click on this, drag it down to the Photoshop, and then here's the trick. In Photoshop, it's going to ask you which page you want to open. If you hold down your Shift key and you click so that both pages are selected, it will open both pages. Or, you know, sometimes I'm going to give you a PDF that has 3 or 4 pages on it, and what will happen is it'll open all the pages individually, and then you can draw on the pages you need to and read the instruction pages, right? I see there's a couple new chat messages down here. Let's see. So Zach says he tries. Okay, cool. Okay, now let me just take a little side journey here to answer a question a student has. So one of the students is asking me, where are the videos for this class? And so the way I'd like to answer that is, if you go to the class website and you click on the animation tab and you scroll down, you're going to see that back here, you know, going back a couple weeks, you're going to see videos of today's class. Basically, after every class, I take the video that was recorded for that class and I put it on the same post for that class, right? Now, unfortunately, that hasn't been the case in the last week or so because I've been teaching in-person classes at Pima, and it was just, you know, the technology that set up there was, it was not possible for me to teach a live class and record it at the same time. So the last few classes don't have videos. You know, they just have some explanations of what we did. And this is part of the reason why I went to all virtual for this class instead of meeting every 2 weeks, because it means that for every single class, I can easily make a video and post it on the website, and then you guys can access that if you need to. Let's see, what just happened here? Sounds fun. What just happened? A buffer. I'm not quite sure what that's all about. Okay. All right. So, Victoria, does that answer your question about the videos? Yeah. Okay. You're welcome. All right, so yeah, so from now on, you'll start seeing those videos posted every day. It'll say, here's a video of today's class, you know, right on the actual post for today. And it will take an hour or two for that to process, and then it will be on the website. Oh, it says the connection buffers for us. Okay. All right, yeah, I guess sometimes there's a internet hiccup or whatever. Okay, so anyway, what I would like you guys to do is download those cognitive drawing files and open them with Photoshop. Once again, they'll be PDFs. Point Photoshop at the PDF, do File Open, Shift-click on both of the pages and hit Open, and we'll open both of them. Okay, now if you don't have Photoshop, you need to download it. You know, because we all have access to the Adobe programs now that should be working for you from the Adobe site. And then you can, you know, easily open these things up because you can't really draw in like Adobe Acrobat, which will also open these files. Now, speaking of drawing, when you do draw on these files, one of the things you're going to want to do is make a new layer. So, for example, in this file right here, if I go to Photoshop over here on the right-hand side, I'm going to have this layers palette right here. I can click at the bottom of my screen on this little plus symbol, and it will make a brand new drawing layer. You can see that's a transparent layer I can draw on, right? Now you want to draw on an extra layer because if you don't, if you just draw on this main layer, whenever you erase, it's going to erase part of the background white, and that's a big pain. So you want to draw on this top layer here, right? Now, those of you who you know, are for whatever reason are not drawing on the computer right now, you can do this exercise on paper, and you can snap a photo of it and upload it to your Google Drive folder. But what today's exercise is, well, I'll let the author of the book tell you guys about it. So if you haven't yet, go ahead and download this PDF and open it in Photoshop. Put an extra layer on top of that second page that has the big blank area in the middle, and then we'll watch this video and see what he wants us to do here.
All right, welcome to day 2 of cognitive drawing. I'll just read through this on my computer screen. You should have this in your book though. And if you guys are stumbling across this video and you don't have cognitive drawing, you can go to cognitivedrawing.com. It's 160 pages with 90 days of exercises to learn to draw the male figure from memory. So here we go. Now it's time the rubber meets the road. On this next page, draw a man flexing his muscles as best as you possibly can without looking at any reference. That's why I drew this guy so lousy, so that you wouldn't be able to look at him as reference. Don't worry, if you can't do it very well, trust me, you'll be able to do this much better once we finish this book. Okay? This test mainly is just to clarify where you're starting from, to help you know the problem areas. And I know a lot of you might say, well, everything is a problem area. What? You want me to do what? This is embarrassing. Don't worry, at the end of the book, you'll be able to do the same exercise again, and you'll be excited when you see how much you've improved. The only way to know where to go is to first know where you are, right? Just like on a map. Also, no stick figures allowed. Don't just do a lousy drawing just because you know you can't do it yet. So don't do that. Do it as good as you can. The author Malcolm Gladwell claims that 10,000 hours of deliberate practice are needed to become world-class in any field. He calls it the 10,000 hour rule. And if you finish this workbook, then you'll be that much closer to the 10,000 hours of deliberate practice that you've needed, because this book is definitely deliberate practice. But I honestly think cognitive drawing will speed up this deliberate practice, and these hours will be worth even more than just a regular hour of drawing whatever you want to draw. So stay focused. So here we go. Let's go. All right, so I'm not going to do this with you guys, but just draw a muscly guy as good as you can, flexing, full body. All the muscles showing. Just do the best that you can right now, just so you can see exactly where you're at, and that way you'll be able to see your progress as you go through this book. You'll be able to see a before and after, and you'll be able to see exactly how well this book worked for you. So I'll let you do that, and then we're on to the next page. Now,
Okay, so close this. All right, so what you want to do, like I said, you can either open this digitally, or you can do it at home on a piece of paper or something like that. Make a new layer on this page, and then what you want to do is you want to draw a muscle man, like a strong man flexing or whatever. If you like, you can draw a muscle woman, whatever works for you. And once again, you're doing it without reference, and don't worry one little bit about how good or bad it is. As Jason said in the video, this is just for you to gauge kind of where your drawing level is right now. And then we're going to do this exercise again at the end of the semester, and then you can compare the two, and it's pretty fun, right? So, just go ahead and draw a muscle figure, a strong person here. I'm going to unshare my screen so you guys have your screen to use, and I'll give you some time to draw this guy. I'll go ahead and draw him too, and then we'll sort of reconnect in a few minutes and see how everybody's done with their drawing. Okay, so go ahead and draw the muscle guy. Okay, now some of you guys are going to be drawing faster than others, and that's fine. Some of you may be done already, some of you may be halfway done. It's okay. Just keep working on it. We'll work on it for a few more minutes. This is not a finished, sellable piece of art. It's really a sketch. let's see. Trying to get my Toby account to work. Again, seems the student trial I sent isn't working anymore. Okay. Yeah, so Neil, you should be able to log in and download the real version at this point. So try logging into the Adobe website with your PIMA email address. If they give you a screen that says, personal account or school or work account, choose school or work, then go over to the apps section, and then you should be able to download the apps. Let me know what happens with that. Okay, so it's 10:55 right now, so I'm going to give everybody 5 minutes to finish these drawings. We'll take a look at them at 11 o'clock. So if you finish, or even if you have a half-finished sketch you want to show, take a picture of it and upload it to your Google Drive, or upload the JPEG to your Google Drive or whatever so we can see it. Okay, so it's 11 o'clock. So let's see. Got my attempt in my folder, said Blake. Okay, cool. All right, so why don't we stop drawing for now? And those of you that are not quite finished, you can save your drawing and finish it a little later if you like. I'll give you some time during class to do some more drawing. But if you would like to share your drawing with us right now, if you have it on the computer, then you can actually just share your screen and we can see it, or you can upload it. And like I said, if you drew it on paper or something, you can take a picture and upload it. So let's see. Let me show you mine real quick, and then I'll just share my screen here. So I just drew this little guy right here, and you know, it's just a sketch. So obviously, there's going to be areas that aren't perfect. You're trying to work on the anatomy and make it look like somebody is, you know, proportionally correct or whatever. So, you know, it's going to be in a few minutes. You can only do so well with a sketch, but you know, the whole purpose is just to have fun and look at this stuff. So, okay, so now let me go ahead and bring up the folders. So I'll start with Blake's because he told me he's got something in there. So I will do a search for his folder. Let's see, animation, open, and then let's see. Is it in the show this today folder, Blake, or? Yes. Okay. So I'm going to share my screen, and we will look. Day 2 drawing PNG. Cool. I like it. I like this guy. He's awesome. Nice. I like that, Blake. It looks really good. Okay, cool. And then let me see. Let me bring up the chat here and see anybody else who's got one. You know, you can let me know if it's in your folder, or you can let me know if you want to share your screen. Okay, so let's see. Blake has one. Garrett has one. Okay, let me find Garrett's. Okay, Garrett. Okay. All right, let's see. Silhouette Muscle Man. Here we go. Nice. I like
Sexy.
that. It's awesome.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I like it. Very nice. Okay, let's see who else has got one. Let's see. So we got Garrett, we got Blake. Let's see. Neil says, figured it out, forgot that you can't log in through Google. You have to type it even though it's the same email. Okay. Victoria is currently uploading hers to her folder, and Anjanae has hers in the folder as well. Okay, so let's start with Anjanae. Okay, there we go. Okay, Muscle Man. Nice. What do you guys think?
He's got some sass.
Yeah, he looks good, huh? He's very angular. Were you gonna say something, Marco, or?
I already said something.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's very angular. I love drawings where, you know, they're curves, but they kind of, the artist will draw like straight lines around the curves, like around the muscles here. There's an artist named Bridgman who made an anatomy book that became very famous and a sort of a staple of drawing schools, and he was all about drawing the human figure in these very blocky shapes, and it's a really attractive way to do it. Okay, very nice. Let's see. It looks like some people are uploading their images right to the chat, which is also an awesome way to go. Okay, so now let me see if Victoria is there. Victoria, Miro, Google Drive. Drawing day 2. Nice. It looks good, Victoria. I like it. Very cool. All right. These are great. Let's see. So now we have Zach has got one in his folder. So we'll go back here. Let's see. Oh, there it was. I saw. Oh, I don't know how I ended up with Zachary's Pizza. Sorry about that. Let's see. Let me try again. Oh, what the heck? Okay. Let me go back to my email. If I go back a few, hopefully I can get back where I'm started. Okay, so now if we try. Oh, come on. I don't know what's up with my stupid search, but it blows. Okay, here we go. Oh, now, Zach, I just saw your folder a second ago, and now it's gone, which sucks. Let me try again. Third time's a charm. All right. Okay. And then the folder's not there. Let's see. Maybe if I try DAR176, I can get a bunch of folders. No. Oh, well, here's Zach. Oh, that's just a character. Oh, here we go. Boy, that sucked. I hated that search. Okay. Let's see. Flexing Man. Okay, it wants me to download it. No pain, no gain. Nice. I like that. That's a cool looking guy. All right, thank you, Zach. Let's see. So we saw Victoria's, we saw Zach's. Then Engineer. Okay, here is Daniel's. His is right here in the chat. Click to open. Nice. Yeah, that looks really good, Daniel. Nice, especially the arms look really good.
Thank you, though.
Yeah, very nice. Okay, and then Janae says she kind of got inspired by Johnny Bravo. He did look kind of Johnny Bravo. Let's see. William Rockwell has got one in his folder. Okay. William. DR6 William Muscle Man. Nice. I like his expression. His expression is so geometric. He's like a triangle and a line and an oval there. Very cool. It's looking good. Okay, so let's see. That was William. And then we have, is it possible to find us in your shared with me section? I guess, possibly. I don't know. Maybe there's an easier way to find this stuff. Hugo has his up there too. Muscle. Nice. I like it. Looks good. Yeah, everybody has a, the basic conception of where to put the muscles and, about the approximate proportions of the body and stuff like that. And so the fun thing is to see the drawing you do at the end of the semester and compare the two. Like Engineer's all gain, no face here. Okay. Now, is there anybody else who, does anybody want to share their screen and show us a picture? Or
I'll share the screen.
Okay, great. I will stop my share and then go for it.
All right.
Oh, wow. Jeez.
I love the face.
His name is Chud.
His name is Chud. That's pretty funny.
Takes care of himself. Yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty in love with himself. You can tell all he does is take stimulants and work out all day.
Yeah. He's about to go file his taxes.
Wow.
Those gains.
Yeah. You have a good knowledge of the muscles. I mean, he looks really good. He looks like those weightlifter guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, really nice. And let's see, what program were you using?
Clip Studio.
Oh yeah, that's a good program. Okay, anybody else want to share their screen or upload a hand drawn version or something like that? Do we have any others? Are there any that I missed that you guys uploaded that we haven't seen yet? Okay. Well, if you do have one, let us know and we'll check it out. I love seeing everybody's work. And if you finish it, later today or tomorrow or whatever, and you want to show it to us next class, please do. We'd love to see it. Okay, let me share my screen again, and we'll go back to the class website. Okay, which is, don't tell me, not here. Okay, so we got to just put something in. Okay, so that was our digital drawing exercise for today, cognitive drawing. Now, I wanted to ask you guys if anybody else has managed to do anything like put together a background and upload it in their folder that we haven't seen yet. Has anyone worked on a background that we haven't seen that we could look at right now?
Oh, I did work on my background, Greg. So it should be in my folder also.
Okay, cool. So let me look at that.
Yeah. And also, what was the other thing that we had to do? It was like a plot. So I have a question about that. How can we like like any type of plot? Is it gonna be the same character or a different one?
Well, I'm going to talk about that today.
Oh, cool.
I always have trouble finding your folder. There it is. Oh, boo. I don't understand why you, it's always...
Yeah, probably Carrion is the one that works most of the time.
It's, is it DR Carrion?
No, actually, no. Just D Carrion, yeah.
I don't know why I always have so much trouble with you. Oh, wait. There you are.
There you go.
Okay, so now we just got to find here, 176. And finished background?
Yeah.
All right. Wow.
That's really nice.
Yeah, isn't that beautiful, you guys?
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah, it really looks wonderful. And not only is it well rendered, but the color palette is just extraordinary. Now, did you use any of those color palette websites to help you with the colors, or did you just do it all instinctively?
Actually, yeah, not really. I went to Procreate and I just started playing with the colors. And then also, sometimes like Procreate also has the, how do you call it, the hue thing that you can change colors or kind of like play with it.
Okay.
It's just like done. Yeah, so I was playing with the saturation and the, I don't know how you pronounce the HUA thing, the hue or something. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I was just pretty much playing with the saturation stuff, and then it came out with those colors. I was like, all right, that looks cool. So I'm just gonna stick to those.
Yeah, it looks great. Now,
Thank you.
As a background, from a practical perspective, you remember we watched that video the one day of the girl who drew the woman who drew a forest background.
Yeah, I remember that.
And remember how she made it like really wide so that she could like have several scenes occur in that?
Yeah.
So that would be one consideration for you is, if and we're going to talk about the plot in a second, but if your plot involved, the character walking to his favorite place after school or something, you could just extend this background so that it included more desert, and it included maybe like a school over here, and maybe over here his house or something like that. And that way you could just sort of pan the background while he's walking, and it would look like he's going through this scenery.
Okay.
So that's one consideration if your plot turns out that way.
Definitely, yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Anybody else work on backgrounds or updates to characters or anything like that? Okay. So how about plots? Has anybody sketched out a little plot in a little paragraph? Let's see. William Rockwell has an updated background. Okay. Ooh. This is the latest one, William?
Yep.
Very
Ah,
nice.
It's nice refined.
it's very nice. The only thing that seems a little unusual is this chair right here.
Yeah, I had a hard time with that.
Yeah. Now you know how we talked about vanishing points and 2-point perspective and stuff like that. If you use that, you can help yourself with drawing chairs and stuff like that. Let me. I'm going to open up an Illustrator file here, and so let's say that. Okay, I'm gonna hit Command R to turn on my rulers, and I'm gonna drag down a guideline. So let's say that you made a. I'm just going to make a super big vanishing point here. So I'm going to make right in the center. I'm going to make this dot, and I'm going to fill it with black, so it's real easy to see. So let's say that you're drawing this scene that's it's either 1-point perspective or it's 2-point perspective or whatever. Let's say that it's 2-point perspective. So we'll make 2 dots. We'll put 1 dot over here, and we'll put another dot. It's hard to grab this damn thing. Put another dot over here. Okay, so 2-point perspective. Now you start drawing these perspective lines, and they all meet at these points, right? So, hold on a second. I have to deselect it after every one. It's kind of a pain in the butt, but every line that you draw. Such a pain. Okay. Is going to end up at one of these points. And then if you're drawing your chair, like let's say you're drawing your chair over here, you can use these points to help you figure out how the chair would look in this environment. So, I'm trying to draw like the seat of the chair right now, and there you can see that little box starting to form. And then if I wanted to draw the top of the chair, I could draw a line here. I could start to draw some straight lines down that would help define the chair, like this, and this one. And so now, I don't know how easy that is to see, but this area right here could be like the back of the chair, and this little square here could be the front of the chair, right? So, and obviously your perspective is kind of different or whatever, but if you use like, 1 or 2-point perspective, depending on your artwork, you can just draw perspective lines meeting at the vanishing point, and then that can help you with your art.
I can see that.
So it looks like this is more of a 1-point perspective drawing. Like, if you took this and you took this line right here, and like if you made another layer on this drawing, and you took this line and you drew it to its natural finishing point, and then you drew this one here there too. Where that ends, where those 2 lines connect, that is the vanishing point. And then from there, if you just dragged lines out straight from there, you could actually construct your chair from that, and it should look correct.
Okay.
Okay, but this looks really great. It looks super fun. I love the fact that the armory looks so 3D. You know, you could walk up those stairs, and this is clearly a bar. I love the wanted poster. It's really funny. Yeah, it looks great. It looks super fun. Okay, let's see. Love the sword and shield. And Janae has something to show. Okay. Oh, let's see. Okay, so
brainstorming storyboard. Second to the bottom.
okay. Ooh, okay, let's zoom in on this thing. Okay, so do you want to explain it, or do you want us to just take a look at it and see what we can figure out?
I guess take a look at it, see what, yeah.
Okay, so it says 30-second storyboard brainstorm. So we see Cicero here. Looks like the morning because the sun is coming up. And this is great. You know, this is the way you want to do storyboards. Little boxes with little arrows showing what's happening. And then it looks like he's walking across a ravine or something like that. Looks like he grabs a vine or something to swing.
So on those parts, I wanted to put some kind of action that he would do to get down from where he is.
Oh, okay.
So I chose the first thing. So he could like be sliding, he could be swinging, or he could be.
Oh, I see. These are like. Did you are these like Xing out these two?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I thought that was just kind of a movement line or something. Okay. So he decides to take this route, which might be a slide down or something. He lands on this. He lands on this sort of brick thing and jumps off. Now he goes over to this other mushroom, which stretches, and there might be a conversation there. Fast activity, slow activity, fast activity. Okay. So go ahead.
Basically, it's like the plot would basically just be like a montage of like, okay, this is what we did today. And then towards the end, the mushroom or Cicero would want to do more things, but the bigger mushroom, which doesn't have a name yet, is like, no, it's nighttime. We got to go to bed.
Oh, okay. So it's kind of like a little kid bothering a parent to go play, and the parent's like, no, I worked all day kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's see. So Luna says, great work, so professional. It does look really good. It's fun to see it in grayscale here as well. And I love the fact that you're taking your ideas and just kind of storyboarding them out and trying to figure out where things go. Like, this is really nice that you gave yourself different options and then you picked one, which is great. So yeah, I mean, it's really clear and we can tell what's going on, and obviously it's still a work in progress, so you have to finish and decide where you're going to end up, but it looks really great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, let me see. I want to see if anybody else said they had something. So, okay. So, Luna, you said you have something, is that right? Do you want me to open up one from you? Sure. Okay. Oh, no. This one, September. The second one here. I don't know, I'll open this up. You can tell us if it's right. Okay. Is this one Luna, or did you want us to look at a different one?
I believe that was her background she showed us last week.
Right. So a different one.
So many tales.
9.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. You know, looking at this image, it kind of reminds me of like folklore. You know, it's kind of like, I mean, I want to say like almost like Native American or maybe Inuit, uh, Inuit because, you know, Alaskan because it looks like there's kind of a snow coloration back there.
Japan.
You know what I mean? It has that folktale feel. So
Yeah, man.
this is a supporting character, Luna says. Does he have a name? Kurama? I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Yeah, I love the universe.
JK, not me.
Sorry, that was Daniel. Sorry. So Daniel's coming up with a name. Okay, thank you, Daniel. Spirit Fox. Okay, that's the real name. Daniel, you can be the runner-up name. Okay. Yeah, it just looks great. And, you know, clearly you have a very specific vision, Luna, and it's wonderful to see the characters and the scenery and all this stuff played out on the screen. I really like it. Spirit Fox Okami. All right. Very nice. Very, very nice. Okay, does anybody else have anything? Let's see. Blake said he had, I think it was Blake. Let's see. Yeah, a Word doc of a possible plot. Okay. Let's check that out. And as I said, we're going to talk some more about plots in just a moment. Okay, I don't know, maybe it's in the Show This Today folder. Yes, awesome. Okay, so a short animation, like 30 seconds. The protagonist is a bearded dragon, Haku, sailing the stage, desert road, hot summer day. Okay, so I remember your road background, your desert road. Hot summer day, Haku is looking for water with no source of fresh water in sight, but suddenly Haku spots a partially full water bottle discarded in the middle of the road. Obstacle, adversary. Well, with his best chance at water in the middle of the road, he must get to it without being run over by the cars passing by. Okay. Resolution. During the commotion of getting the bottle, it is flung off to the side of the road and spills its contents. Disappointed and hopeless, Haku flops over on his back. Then a rainstorm arrives and saturates the valley. Wow, that's cool. I like that. You hit all of the main points, which is you have, this is a great example, you guys, because it's short and simple. He's already got a background, so we know kind of what it's going to look like, and you know he's obviously spent some time working on his character as well. And so he's got a very simple plot, which is the protagonist has a goal, which is to get that water. There's an obstacle which trips him up, and you know in the end he loses the water, and so he's bummed. And then boom, there's a little twist. There's a rainstorm, which is great. I like it. Like I think it's really cool. What do you guys think?
I think it's a good idea.
Yeah. So Marco likes it. Victoria thinks it's good. And Janae thinks it's a really good plot. So yeah, it's and the problem, most often the problem that students have in this class is they come up with too complicated a plot and they can't finish it in the time they have. So what I would rather see you guys do is come up with a dead simple plot and work on it, and keep in mind that you can always make it more sophisticated and add more things in later if you finish the first part, which is just, you know, getting the character from point A to point B, animating them. And that's difficult and probably will take longer than you think. So that's what Anjane says, that's the problem I have. So yeah, so once again, you know, okay, Anjane, let's look at your example, right? Let's take what you showed us, which is that storyboard, and let's try to give you a simple plot like this. So, you know, maybe Cicero, I'm just going to throw my own idea out there, and you could take whatever you will, but maybe Cicero's like a little boy or a little girl mushroom, right? And they wake up, and it's their birthday, or they're just happy about the fact that it's a sunny day, and so they run to get their dad or their friend or their mentor or teacher or whatever the tall mushroom guy is, and they go over there and they go, you know, it's a beautiful day, and let's play my favorite game, jumping in ponds or something like that. and the guy says, yeah, that sounds great, but I'm kind of tired. And he says, well, that's okay. We're gonna have a great time, so let's jump in this pond. And the guy says, okay, I'll be right there. And so Cicero jumps over a few feet to a pond, and he jumps around in the pond. He jumps around the pond. Meanwhile, we see the big mushroom kind of starting to fall asleep. The mushroom falls completely asleep, and then the Cicero jumps in the pond and has a great time. And then he comes back over. When he comes back over, the mushroom wakes up, and Cicero looks at him and says, "Wasn't that fun?" And the mushroom guy says, "That's the best pond jumping I've ever had." So it's like, it's a little twist in the plot or whatever, but it's a very simple plot. Now, you don't have to use anything like that. I'm just trying to give you an example of how you could take what you showed us and make a simple plot out of it. Okay. Yeah. All right. So did anybody else happen to scratch down some ideas for a plot and have something we can look at? Okay. If so, just you can put it in the chat or say something. But let's move on to me telling you guys some examples of plot and also giving you some examples of storyboards. So Luna says she'll have it by Thursday. Okay. So that's the next thing to do. So let's look at the steps that we've taken so far. You design a character, right? You sketch out some sort of background and look at some of these color palette websites to get some ideas for a color palette. Put something in there, right? Now you write down a simple plot like Blake has here, and then next you create a storyboard like Anjanae has created to show how the plot is going to be visually animated, right? So let me go back to the class website, which is, don't tell me, right here. No, here. Okay. So after you write down your plot, which once again should have these elements, a protagonist, right? I think I wrote it down in an earlier post. Let me see. Just go down here a little bit. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Here we go. So, I'm talking about doing something really short and simple. So you have a protagonist, which is a hero, a goal that protagonist wants, an obstacle or adversary, something which is getting in the way, and then some type of resolution. They either reach the goal or don't reach the goal, or there's a twist, right? Okay, so that's the idea. Now, after you come up with your plot, sketch it out, we can give you some feedback on it. Then you make a storyboard. Here's some storyboard examples. These range from the incredibly simple, sketchy storyboard like this, or here's a good one where it's about some dinosaurs going through the forest. And not only, good storyboards not only have pictures, but they also have little boxes where you can write some text and explain what's going on. They always use arrows to show direction. Here's kind of a weird one. I'm not really crazy about this one because it's about some guy bringing a gun to the office or something. But a storyboard can be as simple as stick figures like this, right? Now this is a super nice storyboard. I really like this one. This shows a scene at a saloon and a guy gets thrown out, and the arrow shows the direction he falls, and then the camera switches to what's called a worm's eye view. He's on the ground, so he's looking up at Black Bart or whoever. The townspeople, of course, come over to see what's going on. This guy comes over, and then this guy gets up, ready to, start the gun battle, right? So, like I said, your storyboard can be very simple or very complex, either way, just so that it communicates the information. Now, I have this really simple storyboard that I made that I'm going to show you guys. And it's just to sort of illustrate the point, right? So this little storyboard is for a potential animation called the obstacle, right? So I wrote some action notes here. It says scene summary. A round creature rolls into view on the left cliff. It opens its eyes and looks around, spotting nothing particularly interesting. Soon after, a round creature rolls in from the right. It opens its eyes and looks around. When the two creatures see each other, they bounce up and down with excitement and roll to the edge of their cliffs. where they stop abruptly, look down into the chasm, then back at each other and sigh. So, you know, right away we establish the scene, we establish the characters, we establish the obstacle, and then the goal, which is for one of these little round characters to go hang out with the other. So, you know, here's the first, action, which is the round creature from the left enters. Let's see. I think I have to go over here and scroll down a little bit to get to the next one. Okay, so he looks around, opens eyes, sees nothing, sighs, right? So then the creature from the right appears. And of course, these creatures could be more sophisticated than this. I just have these round balls. So this one looks around, and then he sees this other guy who's not really paying attention, and he makes a little peeping sound, right? And so then this other guy starts peeping, right? They're very excited about each other, and they start jumping up and down, right? And then they kind of realize their dilemma, which is that they can't get to each other. Let me see. And so there's these sighs, you know, they see the chasm. And then it kind of enters sort of a Wile E. Coyote stage where they attempt, one of them, the more, I guess, industrious of them, he makes 3 different attempts to cross the chasm, and they're all, you know, fated, they're all doomed, right? So first he makes a little glider, and let's see, the fate of the glider is, it just goes straight down. Then he makes a catapult, and we know all 3 of these are going to fail. Same result, you know. And then, you know, he gets a running start and bounces and falls down the gully or whatever. And then he gives up, right? He's disheartened. So we're kind of at that point, like in Blake's story, where the dragon just lays back on its back because it, you know, feels like it utterly failed its mission. And then, you know, we have a little twist here. The guy on the top who's just been waiting, watching all this thing, suddenly realizes that physics is his friend. He's above the other guy. So he backs up a little bit, rolls down the hill, and of course, makes the chasm. And let's see how this ends. Oh yeah, and then I guess there's a twist at the end. So, you know, okay, boom, they're happy. This guy who was on the left is so happy. He like jumps up and down with excitement, and he jumps so high that when he lands, he hits this guy and knocks him into the chasm, right? So, you know, that's my little plot. Okay, I think that's the ending, right? Yeah. Okay, so, you know, and once again, you don't have to have a little twist at the end like that. There's no requirement for that. You can choose, you know, either for the character to succeed or fail at their goal. The twist is just kind of a fun way to add humor or, you know, something interesting at the end, right? Okay, so let me ask you guys, do you guys feel like you know kind of what I'm looking for as far as a plot?
Yeah, I get an idea.
Simple and clean.
Okay. All right, so let's do this. Why don't you guys take some time right now and work on one of these elements. Either work on a background, work on sketching out, you know, writing out a plot, or start working on a storyboard. Now, let me show you one more thing. I'll share my screen one more time. If you would like, there's a resource on the website here, a storyboard template. You can make your own storyboards if you want, but if you go here, there's some PDFs, which of course you can open in Photoshop and draw on. And what's nice about these is they come in 3 different formats. This one is all, I'll make these kind of big so you can see them. This one has like, you know, looks like 15 different rectangles on it with areas for comments. Remember to number your storyboards too, so we know which one happens next. This one's nice because it's really big and you can draw your pictures and do the comments over there. And then here's one that's just sort of this one is sort of a vertical format, and this one's horizontal. So if you want to, like here, I'll just get this one for an example. Click here for a free vertical storyboard template. So I can find out wherever the heck this is, grab it, drag it down on top of Photoshop, or, you know, open it in Photoshop on a PC. if you got this transparent background, you can always use flatten image and it will become white. And then of course you could save that. You could what might be a good idea is to work in layers, and you could do one layer which is your first storyboard, name this page 1, and then make a second layer which would be like page 2, and then you could export each one as individual pages. You can even save them as PDFs and link them together and make one giant PDF that has your whole storyboard on it. So okay, I'm going to stop my share here again. So like I said, why don't you guys spend some time now working on, wherever you are in your project, whether it's finishing a background, making a plot, or working on a storyboard. And I'll give you guys a big chunk of the class, and then we'll check back in at the end of the class to see how you're doing. Sound good?
Sounds great.
Sounds good.
All right. Why don't you guys work on that?
Oh, where exactly was the storyboard links at on the page?
Okay, so where you want to go for that is you want to go to the class website. I got so many tabs with everybody's work on it, I'll just have to type it in here. So go to the class website and click on storyboard template.
Oh, for some reason I don't see that.
Try refreshing your page.
Oh, yep, duh. There it is.
Okay.